All right. So without further ado, let's get right into it. It really does jump right in. I think it jumps right into Deacon talking, actually. So yeah, let's do this.
Talking about his first experience with DAOhaus. Thank you, Deacon, so much for being here.
So, I'm actually going to talk about my last experience.
Oh, there's an echo.
My last experience with DAOhaus was at Eth Denver after 3 years of us fucking around with this. The community's slowly building from the three of us to a place where we're sitting in a bar together, impromptu, hanging out. The community exists and is doing crazy fucking shit together, and that's like the whole thing. And to see that actually just materialize in front of us is the whole reason why I keep doing it.
Did you think when you first started DAOhaus, or first worked on DAOhaus, I should say, that this is what it would look like a couple years later?
No. Actually, it's better than I thought it would turn out.
Oh yeah? In what way? Like, how do you feel like that?
We didn't.
Better beards.
Yeah, way more beards, which is good. But I didn't. I didn't like know the true potential that could happen, and it's still, even though if we've been around for a while, it feels still like that potential and that momentum is growing, and the fact of this like community stuff back then was like, what if there was communities doing things like Raid Guild and Metacartel and DAOhaus. Yeah, and Govern, and everything that is like all on the edges, and now it's happening, which is kind of weird, but also fucking awesome. So,
in the process, what's been the craziest, most wild, like unexpected thing that you either were a part of building, did happen, seen, saw, experienced?
There was that time that Vin mooned Joe Lubin. The community did a signal vote and an objective setting, and then he did it, so that was amazing.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
Wow.
What was Joe Lubin's reaction?
I think he was trying to game it because he put a bunch of money on the prediction market. So.
Did he spank that ass? Tell me, walk me through ETH Berlin, hackathon when you built it. I know you started with the last experience, but give me the first. I'll go to the first experience for a second. ETH Berlin when you built it. Give me the 50. What was the vibe like when you were like 50% of the way through the ETH Berlin hack?
Wait, can I amend that? Describe your vision of the cityscape where you were, and also what drugs you were on.
All right.
Cheers.
So I wasn't on any drugs at the time, but I was.
Fair enough.
But I was drinking a.
True.
Maybe, yeah. I was drinking a liter of beer at a beer garden in the big ass park there, and whenever we did a hackathon, we wanted to do something that was localized in some way with the meme around it, and we were reading about Bauhaus, and we were talking about things, and we were talking about how we were building Pokemon DAOs, and that's when we said DAOhaus, and we were like, oh, we have to do it now.
We have to do it now.
Yeah.
And so Saturday night, you're pushing through to. Did you all finish this in like 12 hours, or was this like a staying up all night, both nights kind of thing?
It was, it was the last night we stayed up and we did it, and mainly Sam, which is pretty normal.
If you know Sam.
And so we had a fairly working prototype at the end, basically a DAO launcher and a summoner, and we were working also with Pete. So this is the team, actually. It was interesting. It was me, Sam, Vin, Pete, and Eric. Yeah, Arsenal. And they were the meme lords. And so they made a slide deck that was like a lot of like gore and live birth. and we made a recording of us being like DAOhaus, like very Uber.
Can we find this recording?
It's somewhere. I think Ben might have it. And when we walked into the judges, we played that. And we walked in and we showed the slide deck, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, we didn't win that one, but.
Is that the same Eric that's with MCV now?
Yeah. Yep.
So you shipped that.
We shipped it.
You shipped it,
Yeah.
and was this like what you were like? You shipped it. You're like, cool, or did you think like? What did you think?
Yeah. In 3
How'd you
years,
feel?
we'll be at Eth Denver, like speaking
Drinking
on
in parking
panels
lot?
and drinking in parking lots with our fucking best friends. And no, we didn't think that at all. We were just like, cool. Let's see if anyone uses it. And everyone used it for a little bit. And then
Everyone still uses it.
yeah.
We
and
still
then,
use it.
and then DAOs blew up after that.
What's been your
a year
favorite
later.
DAO that's launched on DAOhaus?
Raid Brood is by far my favorite.
Here, Raid Brood, here.
It's because it's a mix between real life and DAO life. Like everything is kind of not necessarily esoteric, but kind of just like we're funding devs doing shit, or we're giving grants to some like blockchain public good initiative, or we're helping a product grow, or whatever. But a Raid Brood is just about a beer club. So I can explain that to my mom, and she's like, "Oh, okay, you guys put your money together, start a beer club, cool." And but now you guys have a distribution license, and you've brewed 4 or 5 beers, and you're like doing things around the world, and that's like the power of community with purpose. And so I think that's what I love it.
Fucking clip in there. The power of community with a purpose.
There we go. There's my clip. All right.
What?
That's been 5 minutes, man. That's been 5 minutes.
All right.
Aaron gets
One
to
last
fucking
question.
interview.
7 minutes.
2 minutes. 2 more questions. All right. 2 more questions.
Let's get it fast.
What's been the lowest moment of the DAOhaus journey?
I mean, we've had a lot of those actually. I mean, it's just like when you're building a community and you hit hard times, and it's not only hitting you, it's hitting everyone in the community, and you feel a little bit responsible for it. And but that's also the power, because everyone comes together and makes shit work eventually. So
Wow, you answered my second question, which was like, what's the thing that gets you through those? And it sounds like it's the power of community.
yeah.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Addy.
You've reached
Erickson.
Drew.
All right. What are we talking about?
Culture is the topic at hand.
Kick us off.
Starting prompt being, how to maintain culture through growth and mass adoption.
What does it mean to you?
What, culture generally?
Your prompt.
My prompt. I think it's a relevant starting place in the context of where we are, which is Eth Denver. And Eth Denver traditionally being like a developers conference. Like when I first came to Eth Denver, like it was very much like a hackathon. It wasn't a conference even, right? And so to see it to mature now to the fact it's being held in a stockyard.
Are we cowboys or are we cattle?
We're cattle.
Yes.
Wow.
But it's definitely become more of like a conference show, or rather a booth conference than like a developers hackathon. I mean, that part's still there, but it's just like you feel kind of the dynamic shift.
Yeah.
And I think like with that the noise is a lot higher and the signal to noise is a lot lower.
It's so loud in that space.
Well, and not just noise, but like just chaos. Like the chatter, which isn't even like really corely relevant to like what's happening either in the cultural zeitgeist or like at the actual like protocol level. I feel like it's just like a lot more just, again, shilling and pitching and like, I don't know.
Yeah. So where do you want to see it go?
I mean, I don't know if it's possible to avoid like this transformation. I think it's like a rather natural thing. I just think like it makes it more important for us to do things like this and have more intimate and like focused conversations, events, just discussions, and recognize that that's actually where most of the value lives, not in the chatter of like booth halls.
Yeah.
So
cool. Thoughts? Retort?
Yeah, echo, like retweet, all of the above. What I have seen this year, though it might be more higher noise, is that the OGs are still doing what they've always done, and they're down to open that world to people. Nobody's being exclusionary that has been here for a long time, and seeing people share their stories like Paul, you know, going from an ER doctor to being an Ethereum.org dev and like talking about how he made the transition and like what it took to get there and how much better his quality of life is for taking the leap, and like sharing, but being a straight shooter about how he got there and like the steps it took. I think that's what we need to be celebrating and sharing and like doing storytelling. We're really bad at archiving movements like this.
Fucking A.
And like you look at the 90s and the internet before Web 2 took over and how much culture was lost in that early internet phase when we were first learning communities and how to connect with people virtually. And that's what it was really about back then. And I still see that here.
Yeah.
Also, like the principled nature of like what was happening at that time, like the early internet, and how it was so much about like freedom and sovereignty, and where it then became and where it is now.
Yeah.
We can see this play out easily in crypto if we're not careful about like kind of trying to maintain like the culture and front run those challenges.
Man, any thoughts?
Yes, sir. I'm going to take this on a bit of a tangent and just talk more about like the DAO space and culture in it, because I think one thing that I think I've seen that a bunch of us have seen lately is that for people that are getting crypto pilled for the first time, that they need like a bit more of a through line than it just being like a crypto thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Be something, you know, so if it's Metafactory, somebody who's like really in love with like streetwear, things going in that direction, or if somebody finding like passion within crypto, I think that's going to be more important to people than chasing the dollars at this point.
Yeah.
I do also think like the most important, I don't know, like the you know, the tech versus money kind of dialogue that's been started will be really important to lean into for people that haven't already been crypto pilled, if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like very
sense.
specific. Yeah.
I think
So,
it's like
my
I think
people-
what you're also touching on is like the abstract versus the tangible too, because like we talk a lot of crypto, and like that can get very just like, again, abstract and up in the like in the clouds, and like you have to make it real and tangible for like people to really want to even be onboarded into this world.
So like to riff on that, we're taking an Uber around. Obviously, it's Eth Denver, and you know, the Uber driver says, "Oh, like I thought that thing went away, or like you guys are all like, you know, it's gone down, right? So it's bad." I'm like, well, there's some of us that are just like trying to change the internet. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's like that part doesn't even matter. We're not looking at the numbers.
How important is on-chain governance for the space?
I think it's important for the long run, but for mass onboarding, I think it's more important to think about deprogramming yourself from the 9 to 5 and thinking about how to coordinate differently with humans and deploy capital differently and resources. And that to me is the win. And then you can move things on chain as the technology continues to scale, as things become more secure, as they become easier for people to use. So still very important, but I think getting people around to the idea of just coordinating with others is the win, and then we can introduce the tools later.
That's right. Yeah, I agree. Thoughts?
Yeah, plus one to like all of that. I think it's more for me also about like how we work and how we approach work and the possibilities of the like work company or project relationship, less like I guess like the formal proposals and the on-chain aspects. I think that plays a part and unlocks a lot of, especially like leans into the transparency side, and then can play later into the reputation and like person building side. Like, but it's also like you almost are trying to break, or a lot of what we're trying to do, I think, is like break the employee corporate relationship and like that day-to-day, that 9-to-5 slavery. Like, I think like to be the ability to be able to contribute as wholeheartedly as you want to, and be rewarded as such, but then step away and travel for 2 months because that's what you want to do with your life. Like,
no gods, no masters.
Yeah.
Any other final thoughts?
My only final thoughts are I think it's like a really important time for people to like not put their ego aside, but not feel like people were lucky to have found, you know, Ethereum at an early age, and to just not discount that there are other movements that have associated things so much with like money that it's just it loses the spirit of what it's supposed to be, and to also not think that like if a narrative gets too carried away, that you know, that might just become the narrative if we don't actually talk about what it is and what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That just blow up.
Yeah.
People win elections that way, and other things happen.
Yeah.
So,
Final thoughts?
Sure. Yeah, to riff on that too, like you hear the term native a lot, and to a newcomer, I think that means, when did I first do an on-chain activity or get a wallet? And it's like, no, do you have a mindset to accept and think about new possibilities and remapping the way we're working and coordinating, right? And so I want to really double down on it's more of the mindset, it's more of the attitude and the approach and the willingness to be open that we want to see than how many tokens you have and what different products have you used. Yes, please use the tools, please use the tools, use the dApps, but like it's more important to just be open and come through. Be out here.
To go full circle, like I think at the end of the day, the culture is actually, the mindset is as a result of that is more important than the tech even. The tech enables one, but like we're trying to change how we cooperate, you know, work, you know, explore ourselves, share ourselves, our identities, and our data. The financial sound self-sovereign money is the layer, the foundation that provides for the rest of it. But I think what's more exciting is like how we extrapolate that, like that foundation to like true personal, human, social like progress. Yes.
Also, first, quick introductions.
Darren?
Great.
Pete. I think it's just too fucking big. This is my first one, but it's too big for me, and I've heard that it had much better vibes previously. I don't know how MCon had the good vibes. And I think it's just too chilly. There's so many boots, and I don't know. It's hard for me to tell. Oh, it lost the plot because like this is the first time for me.
Got it.
But it's
but it's just general impression, though, I guess.
I think they just blew it up too big.
Retort?
Yeah, no, totally. It's big. I was here 2 years ago in Sports Castle, and you could start on the top or bottom floor, and you could walk through all the floors, and it would take you 2 to 3 hours because you would bump into friends. You'd bump into people you worked with, you'd bump into like people that you hadn't seen in a year, and it would take forever. Now you go over to the venue, and you walk around for 2 or 3 hours, and you're shocked that you can't find the people you came in with. If you don't have a Schelling point, you don't have a booth, you don't find them. I mean, you might see like, oh, I remember that person, I don't remember their name, but it's too big. It's too big.
How has the DAOhaus build influenced you guys individually?
I'd say I feel like I'm becoming a centralization maxi with an asterisk, in that
With an asterisk.
With an asterisk. The protocol and the tools that we implement are the guardrails of decentralization. So we can't go beyond a certain limit.
Yeah.
But we need to start mimicking the organic nature of corporations that have been doing this for hundreds of years, that know that centralization is effective and efficient. So we need to start exploring ways that we can build microstructures inside our decentralized rails so that we can have the efficiency and optimization of centralized corporations.
What kinds of microstructures?
What if we explored more ways where you were electing someone and they just earned a salary and they were in charge, but the rails would be you get enough people to vote and we can remove them? And anything similar where you're giving someone more of that power and more of that say so that they can, one, be responsible and have an income and, like, you know, be able to commit what they need to commit. But then at the same time, if they go too far, you have the community there still. Like, the whole point of this whole thing was we were decentralizing to put boundaries on what has been corporate overreach for like 100 years. But that doesn't mean we throw away the entire corporate playbook. Like, we need to figure out how to be like little mini centralization maxis so that we're not just like pie in the sky, anybody can do whatever they want, we're in a DAO. Like, we need to get shit done.
It's like prioritizing automation with, at the sacrifice of like really not understanding your intent or like defining the process clearly before then making the decision to automate and streamline, because that's you're putting like cart before horse, and you're creating problems by automating something that doesn't even understand what it is yet.
Right.
It's almost like the tools are
water
can be like
like, we can trust them, right? We can fall back on the decentralization. Right? Let's be sharks a little bit. Like let's play ball with the people that
they can be like limiting and confining too, though. Like they're like because we lean into like the code as like the savior of what is naturally a human coordination problem and challenge. And so it's like we also have to acknowledge that we need to solve the coordination to then automate for and then like you know, it's like this balance.
Keith, hot take.
I think what he said kind of makes sense. Like, there aren't many successful anarchist companies, and this is for a good reason. And I think the key part, like, okay, there should be hierarchies, like some kinds of hierarchies, but the key piece is that, like, it's a hierarchy that the community can revoke at any point. Like, okay, there can be a leader, but the leader can be replaced by the community. It's not the ultimate CEO or like whatever.
How do you feel about that from the context of like knowing and participating in it as like a hackathon, and where the culture and how this is affected, like
Where's the hackathon?
Like, where's the hackathon?
No, it's the hackathon.
Like, they quit 2 days ago after providing like bad Wi-Fi, and then after the bad Wi-Fi and the semi-hackathon, they're now like it's one big marketplace. It's it's eBay for Web3. But it's fun. Like, the people are nice. But it's a commercial marketplace.
Yeah, but so we had like first Eth Denver, we had like a small corner of Shield Zone. Second Eth Denver, we had a floor of Shield Zone. Third Eth Denver, we had 2 floors of Shield Zone. This time we're fucking Shieldverse.
You know, I got
with the fucking devs hidden in the fucking basement.
Yeah.
With
Right?
the horse shit.
Are there a lot of NFT projects here? Because I didn't fucking know. Like, everybody that I'm running into are all DAO people, which is great. But I work for Collabland, so there's obviously the NFT shit fucking projects.
Yeah,
and they're fucking here.
Yeah, shitcoin. Yeah,
they're all here. It's also a shitcoin.
It's the same.
It's a shitcoin with a picture.
What should it be?
What should it be?
Equalizer. It should always be an opportunity for a new path.
So shitcoins, DAOs, NFTs, it's all fucking Ethereum, whether we like it or not. Like, that's kind of the beauty of Ethereum, is people can do whatever the fuck they want within the bounds of the blockchain, right? So, I mean, they're gonna be here. It's just like in fucking life, right? There's shit that you don't agree with, but you have to put up with it because it's gonna be there. right? Because this is my first Eth Denver in person. This is the first time I'm meeting people from the DAOs I've been a part of for the past like 3 years. And yeah, like Sam, fucking Raid Guild, like DAOhaus, fucking all the people that I gotta mention Avagachi, even though they don't get a lot of love in the DAO space, but one of the biggest DAOs out there, and they're doing things the right way.
Best DAOs, best sweaters.
Best sweaters.
Yeah. So like, I think it's just you have to find the things that you're into and the things that make you feel good.
What do you think the impact of meeting these people in person has been and will like be for your like moving forward?
Well, they're people, right? So anytime you meet somebody, a person, it's a connection, it's a thing. There's something there, right? Whether you like them or not, there's something shared. Right. And especially people that you know that you're going to like, that you're going to get along with because you have been doing that. Maybe not in person, but, you know, over the internet.
Layer meat.
Yeah.
Layer meat.
Yeah. Meat space,
The
man.
layer meat is the best.
Meat space.
Wait, what were we talking about?
What do you got here?
Layer
Alright,
meat.
so here we
layer
go.
meat. The importance of us like doing what we're doing and
Yeah.
gathering in person as much as this is like a virtual.
And or how should
How
it
does
be?
this, how does this change?
And like this for me goes back to like why crypto. Like
Yeah, how should it be?
I'm here because like this gives us like crypto gives us this sovereignty to fucking like do shit with our friends. You know, I don't.
Do shit.
That sounds simple, but
No, you got it.
but that sounds kind of for me. That's kind of important. Like we don't have to just go to our job with a bunch of people we hate. Like we're creating stuff.
It's
with our friends.
fucking real shit, though.
Why is that so important?
That's
Why
I'm
is that so
here.
important? Because it just like makes us as humans happy people.
Right?
And like, don't you want to be happy people? And that's why I'm here at this place right now. Is because I just want to be around my friends that like are happy people.
So you're arguing that crypto gives you the power
That's right.
to work
So,
only with like
it's a lot
the
better.
people you want to, in some sense.
That only that only like does freak me out a little bit.
I missed it.
But it does give me the power
No, but
to.
I meant it more in a sense of like you can choose to who to associate and spend your time with because like crypto essentially empowers that possibility versus like just selling your time to some random corporation for like
Well, I think
you're a 9 to 5 time slave.
I think at many
And I think
scales,
that's
right?
100%.
At
Why
many
can't that
scales.
exist though? Like without crypto? Just
I don't know.
adding-
That's a great question.
That is a great question.
Well, because in like the
Trustlessness
current
is
like
very,
financial
very
system,
It's not
you have to be like kind of like a
Literally
crazy
You have to get
entrepreneur
ahead.
to do that.
There's
People
gotta-
do it
you have
and
to
they're
get ahead,
amazing.
right?
do not trust each other.
In
Never
the
will.
corporate world, you have to be friends with the right people to get ahead, to do better for yourself, and to do, hopefully, eventually, what you want to do. Whereas in
Well, to
crypto,
scale
it's like, do what
coordination
you
in
want to do,
general. Yeah.
and, you know, your friends will be there with you doing the same fucking shit.
Different topic.
Ideally,
Yeah. It doesn't always work out like that, but as you explore and find these areas that you're doing things that you like doing, you will eventually or inevitably find people there that you align with that are doing the same or similar types of things or in the same place.
I don't think you need crypto necessarily to create those connections, but I think the type of person that it attracts, the ones, the builders, the ones that are truly interested in what it can become, are gravitating towards it at this time and place, and that's why you would choose it, not because you can do everything else you want to do, but it's the people that's synergizing around it right now that are really giving it an honest chance that makes it fascinating and interesting and gives us hope.
Nicely said.
So there's nothing about this industry that can certainly say that it's going to last, right? Or that it's going to be the thing that
I can
will...
say for certain.
I know, and a lot of us can. But I mean, honestly, you look at anything in the world, and it's like, well, is this the real shit? But we're all here because we believe that it's going to be the real shit, or at least it's got that shot, right? And we're going to give it our fucking damnedest to make sure that that's true.
It's the real shit because we're doing it now.
We're fucking here. It's the real shit no matter what. Yeah.
We're fucking here.
Final thoughts.
Well, you asked earlier what's special about the Moloch DAO contracts contributes to any of that or whatever. And like one thing that I was thinking about earlier, or has been talked about here at Eth Denver, is that like the need for like antisocial gravity. Like we keep like gravitating towards these large scale things, and then like fucking failing miserably. And then like, and some of the properties of the earlier, I mean, the new Moloch DAO stuff's a little bit more whatever open, but the earlier stuff was very permissioned. So it was very like anti-gravity. So it was very like restrictive to growth, you know, which created a lot of really fucking strong communities.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, whatever. That's nice.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Final thoughts?
This guy walks into a bar and
he's got a luau.
There's this bowl of peanuts, and he sits down and the peanuts are like, "Hey man, nice shirt." And he's like, "What the fuck? Who said that?"
Oh,
And
playback
then,
has been
he's
paused
like,
due to
"Whatever, I'll have a beer."
inactivity.
And then the peanuts are like, "Man,
Let's
you
keep
look like you
watching.
lost some weight."
Here we go.
And he's like, "What? The fuck?" He's like, "Bartender, what's this with these peanuts over here?" "Oh, those peanuts are complimentary."
That's a good one.
Bitbackers, final thoughts?
Sorry for fucking up your joke, Sam.
So final thought about that community that we're all creating here. Yeah, this is like the perfect example of adult family dinner. You know, there are a lot of people that you don't agree with, but that's fine. It's nice. You want to share your time with them.
Yeah.
The design is to disagree and then to grow.
Yeah.
It's nice to be here. It's nice to be challenged. It's nice to be wrong. It's nice to learn.
What makes us human? I look you in the eyes and start gathering. To my side, the community. We will thrive, decentralize. The wave breaks and I ride the tide with a battle cry. Share this experience and make it your own. A million fireflies dance across the field. And if we shine in unison, so shall we defeat the Moloch of this century.
I think it just shows that most people in the world don't know anything about decentralization, DAOs, Moloch, and just like GPT-3, or what is it called, Chat GPT?
Yeah.
It will throw the words that you give as a prompt into it, but you can very easily tell the difference between people that know what they're talking about and AI or lady typewriters in bars.
This was a human that took a prompt of decentralization, battle cry, and Moloch, and made something actually that is pretty fucking awesome.
Good, and it's artistic. I like the artistic.
ChatGPT maybe could have come up with this, but this
ask her
is
what
like
that
a human
means.
thing.
Ask her what that means, and I don't think she'd know what that means.
So Sky,
I think she wrote this. I think she knows what it means.
So Sky, what does the Moloch meme mean to you?
Well, we're trying to figure out if coordination works, and we're facing a critical point in the next couple years where we learn if it's actually possible or if it is such a great force that it might not be possible.
Yeah.
And we'll know. We've done a lot of experimentation in the last 3 years. DAOhaus has led the way. There's a lot more coming right now. But we also get new things. So it's only been, 9 months. It's only been 9 months since non-liquid token governance has even become a popular thing. So now you get all this new experimentation that on top of what we've done in the past. And so we're going to have to iterate faster and faster and faster to see if this is actually even possible.
Where's it all going? Where's the Moloch idea going?
It's like ChatGPT and the typewriter. The Moloch meme might be too unclear to people, and we may have to adjust the Moloch meme to really direct people where we want with more clear values. Because if we just say Moloch, and a lot of people don't know what that means.
Yeah. Where do you think the Moloch meme's going, Deegan?
I think the Moloch meme, because it's a common enemy, right? So that's what the feet. That's why the meme is powerful. It turns people off initially because it's like Moloch is Satan, but we're fighting Satan.
But do you think Moloch meme could ever be something that 2 or 3 billion people talked about? The Moloch meme? Is that even possible?
I don't care about 2 or 3 million people. I care about
billion.
I care about 2 or 3 million, not 2 or 3 billion.
Moloch is a filter too.
For early coordination. So you're only going to get the people that actually can figure out what that means.
What's the importance of a mimetic filter in the Web3 space?
Exactly.
To not move too fast?
No, I think it's more like the filter, when you're saying like 2 or 3 million people, like the filter keeps only the most like dedicated, loyal, interested in like the real intent behind the push, the mission. And they're like able to look past like any surface level, like, and like it's the same as Metacartel and the Chili. It's the same as, these are filters, right?
Totally. It keeps the light-hearted actors on the side.
So if you could change the Moloch meme, how would you amend it? Would you make any changes?
It is a historically stigma symbol, period. And so by just choosing it at all to represent like a movement is like an intentional filter by those who started said movement, in my opinion.
We could also expand it, not change it, but expand it, and like, what if we make a Moloch meme that works for kids in elementary school, and then also 80-year-old grandparents, and so we could try a whole bunch of different memes that come off of Moloch without using Moloch, and see if that works too. It might or might not work.
Diet Moloch light.
If Neil Stephenson's idea of the metaverse is a dystopian idea, and we're all optimizing for some utopian state, what is it that we're coordinating for? What's the utopian idealist idea of the metaverse? Anyone?
I don't think it's fucking utopian. I think it's able to survive the dystopia together. I think it's the collectives that we make within that dystopia that gives us power. That is the future that I'm hoping for. I don't think that we're ever gonna fucking live in a land of fucking solar panels and fucking green spaces. Like, I don't believe that that's true. But when it's fucking dirty and fucking grimy and we're in broken bottles and all that kind of shit, these are the fucking people I want to be with.
Yeah, what do you think?
It's the resistance, right? We're all like fighting against the dystopia together. We're organizing together. That's the great story, and we're living it now, right?
It's about a balance. It's a balance between the people that want to take orders and the people who want to live free, and the people who want to be controlled, have a lot of services available to them, and this is more about creating the services for the people who want to live in contrast to the people that want to take orders.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately we have the other 10%, which are the sociopaths or whatever they are, that are going to take advantage of both those parties and force the ideologues to the bean mass.
I'm a little more optimistic. I think that technology can be used for good and bad, and over the last thousands of years, technology with some volatility has slowly made the world a better place over and over and over and over, still to today. Today is still better than 30 years ago, which is better than 30 years before that. And so 30 years from now, it can be a little more volatile, but I think that we can use the technology that we come up with to create a much better world than we have today. And it can be green, and it can be safe, and it can be free, and it can be sovereign, and it can be all of these things. And now we have the technology in order to do this. And so I don't think we're going to be like on the street standing on broken glass bottles, like trying to survive in the movies. I think like we're going to be living in these awesome green worlds where we do regenerative farming using like this bacteria soup that increases the yield of your crops by like 6x, and all the other farmers around you are like, Drew, how do I get some of that?
Well, what are we coordinating?
The funny thing is, like, we already have it. The original DAOs are CSAs, are farms, and like it's just that they don't really need the software and coordination tool because it's like a local thing. They know where you sleep. So like what this does is it provides, like this tech we're building provides that kind of coordination at scale and trustlessly, right? And I think like this vision, this utopia becomes that. It's like, it's farmers, it's solar punk, it's like, it's self-sovereign, sustainable living.
There's this weird balancing act that I think DAOs try to find between the fact that we are all autonomous individuals and that we need to cooperate.
And if we cooperate, we become autonomous collectives as autonomous individuals.
We are the machine.
We become the machine that we design and govern collectively, in theory.
I think Moloch brought us to where we're at now, and it's been like a meme that has helped us all demonize our failures versus each other, and so it's brought us closer together. I think that in different cycles, different times, we need a different adversary. And I think right now it might not be Moloch. I think that the communities coming in who didn't quite get the meme might not understand the context. However, Moloch will always be a piece of our history. It's part of our part of our lore, part of our story. But I think we need something else now.
The other retorts?
I'm with it. I like it. I'm on board. Moving forward is the goal. No blame, no failure, no nothing without lessons and evolution. We're evolving, our community's evolving, our community's growing, new people are coming into the community. The meme of Moloch has served to grow a strong central core of this community.
So is Moloch still the enemy?
There is no enemy. We are a swarm. What does a swarm fight?
Infection.
An infection is a swarm. A virus is a swarm, right?
Fuck.
Nothing defeats a swarm. They're just going together, living their lives. Birds are flying, fish are swimming. We're moving forward as a group, as a whole. We're a collective mind, a movement.
But what is a swarm?
We don't need an enemy. We don't need an enemy.
Oh, okay.
We don't need an enemy. We need to realize and manifest that we're together. We're all together on this planet. We're going together. There is no enemy.
So it sounds like what you're proposing is a non-adversarial approach.
100%.
And so Moloch kind of sets up this adversarial dynamic, and that's something that you feel like we need to move beyond.
Yeah, I would love to evolve the narrative away from having a thing that we need to defeat. I think that's the old way of doing it, right? God and the demon. Darkness and light. Lunar punk, solar punk. Everything is about polarity.
Yeah, the dichotomy, the binary.
The binary dichotomy, polarity is already in our life and in our nature. We don't need to keep memeing that, right? That's just life. That's just what it is. We can actually aspire to something that is much, much greater, that we're superpower gods on this earth creating, and that once we realize that, we're literally unstoppable.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know what to say about that, but I will say that this ecosystem is built off of memes. It always has been. I have no doubts that there will be another meme. We had the Moloch, we had the dancing chili. We've tried to find different things to throw at the wall that inspire us to build better systems, to collaborate better. One thing Gaylor says a lot that like really resonates with me is there's no competition, it's collaboration. There may be some conflicts, but like it's all coordination.
Okay,
It's
one question for both of you then. What do you think about a compromise between collaboration and competition? What some people have called cooperation, a strange mashup allegory between the two. What, is there a middle ground? Does it have to be so extreme? Any thoughts?
I don't think so. I've even seen quote unquote competitors in this ecosystem align forces on different synergies, but there's the key word is conflict. If there is a very, very specific counterintuitive nature of the energy, or the energy put in, energy go out, then you see these parties maybe not work in a collaborative way, or they try to without destroying their energy. However, what's different from Web 3 and Web 2 is that I've seen large organizations with various dynamics and mechanics just overall just say, hey, we're a competitor to this other large organizations, various mechanics and coordination mechanisms. In Web 3, we can get very detail oriented with, well, maybe this part isn't, this is a conflict, but this part we can collaborate on.
Yeah.
And so it's less about the organization and more about the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important about Web 3.
Yeah. Yaler, retort?
Yes, and I believe that competition is part of our human nature. There will always be a part of us that wants to beat the other or beat the other within ourselves.
Agreed.
So I like it. Cooperation, a bit of both. Let's take the best of both worlds and bring them together. Don't stick to one strategy. We're either competitive, we're either collaborative. We're competitive when we need to. We're collaborative when we need to.
So what I've seen in the ecosystem, and also what I've seen with even my friends like Yaler, we aim to be super decentralized, and we yearned to be this body, this ecosystem that could coordinate without central coordination. But what we've seen this past year is that folks have they have sacrificed the inefficiency of decentralized coordination to come together and build smaller teams to get the job done. But in the grander scheme, they are decentralized. So we've seen this mechanic of an organization that is changing structures, and we're trying to find where we fit. And I think this is very different than Web 2 and traditional structures, where the community is stuck in one structure. In this world, we now have so many tools and initiatives where we think we need to find the ways that we fit that organize us in a way that we get the job done, but also we provide equity and governance to the grander community.
Yay!
Classic.
All right, everyone. That is it. Anyone want to shout out any hot takes or reactions?
That was great. It was great hearing everyone drunk. And passionate. I love all the passion there. I really thought a few points. It was like, these guys are, they're about to march down and burn the Capitol or something.
No, I mean, there's not too many.
Or start a CSA.
That can capture so much of the culture.
The liquid courage came out. It was great.
Who had the best laugh?
Yeah.
There were some really good laughs. Deccan, I think yours is one of the best ones.
Yeah, I think I'll have to plus one on that one. The little tee-hees in the background are adorable.
The anti-Moloch might be bean mass. Bean mass. I don't know where that came out of nowhere. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work.
I think you were saying something about like ideological beans. I couldn't figure out where you were going with that. There's like a mass threshold, like a.
That's the point of no return at that point.
Damn.
Ideological bean mass.
Well, I really liked
That was
Addie's
awesome,
take.
guys.
I really liked Addie's take there on the mindset of cooperation being more important than technology.
We love the tech.
Yeah, we should all go.
We love the tech.
But
there's lots of things. Yeah.
We should all go tweet out everything that was just posted in the WordCamp channel and hat tip.
Totally. That video, by the way, is you won't be able to find it unless I direct link you to it. I wasn't sure how everyone felt about making something like that live. Well, maybe now that we've listened to it, we can decide collectively whether that's appropriate or not. But yeah, I mean, I think just shout out to everyone in that recording. A lot of the people here, Aaron, Addie, Bitbeckers, Deacon, of course, Drew, Sam. Sasquatch had a lot of really wonderful takes that unfortunately didn't make the final cut. He had some really great love-filled conversations that night. Vanilla, Ven, Paul, and E2T. There's a bunch of other people also, like Matt and Yaler, and I can't even think of who else that aren't here right now. But if you cross paths with them on the internet highways and byways, feel free to tickle them a little bit if you enjoyed their hot takes. And yeah, I mean, I think now the plan is to
Wait. Before we go away,
go
Travis,
ahead, Christina. Go
we
ahead.
have to all say thank you to you. You were kind of like not sure at first if we were going to all be excited about you running off with your DAOhaus house party plans. But that was really fucking awesome. Thank you.
What? Who had doubts? Ridiculous. Absurd. But yes, thank you, Travis. That was amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Trav. That was great.
That was a blast.
Loved it.
Thanks, Trav. That was
Loved
awesome.
it.
Anytime.
Of course, everyone, I do it all for you. You and only you. So yeah, I think we're gonna all jump over to the Raid Brood server. Is that the idea? Or like everyone's here now, is there a reason to jump servers? Should we all just crack a beer and continue? Let's do V2.
Let's jump.